Weird angle, let's go with it. Hi everyone, so I had an awesome conversation with Eric Wen, who's a personality analyst on YouTube. And I know Eric from videos that look at self-awareness and how to tell your story better on YouTube. So for those who don't know, I'm Chris. I'm an artist from the UK. I also happen to have ADHD. I look at what it means to be calm in a chaotic world and embracing that chaos. So let's dive right on into this helpful conversation, and I hope it will help some of you too. So here we go. Eric, hi.
Hey, nice to meet you. So awesome to hear from you after all this time. It was really awesome. Yesterday, I was looking at your library of content that you've made. It's crazy, dude. Like the amount that you've stuck with it, the amount that you've just kept chugging along, and you've made so many videos and so consistently. It's really impressive, dude.
There's a lot of videos, but I feel like they are that's why I'm here. They're all in different directions at the moment. But yeah, thank you. That's good to hear.
The big thing when you're starting out on YouTube is just trying to get a clear sense of who you are, right? Throwing all this different stuff at the wall, it's probably given you a lot more insight into some things that you like, some things that you don't like, how to, present yourself, all that sort of stuff. And that's experience. Even though it might not feel like you've done a lot or like gotten very far, you have actually.
Yeah, the real thing is, can I show the artist behind the artwork? It's kind of like at the moment, I'm not making a living from it. Mm-hmm. I'm just at the point where I'm getting a few events of the local art battles. I've got the Upfest Street Art Festival coming up, which has been postponed to August because of COVID. And things are starting to happen now in terms of community and getting to know other creators on YouTube, but also local artists and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But financially, I'm not making a lot from the last painting I sold was last August, so that's a while ago. So I don't know whether that message is clear, where it's kind of my audience will be like a fly on the wall, seeing that hero's journey, seeing the
interesting idea.
And because of my ADHD, I have an idea, it overtakes my mind, and I just run with it. But I don't really have that clear mission of this is where I'm starting, this is my story, and even I don't know what the end result will be yet, in years to come.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
I want to have it all kind of on YouTube, so people can, if they do ever make it, when people can follow that journey is what I had in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But how to show that when I've got all these random ideas rattling around, that's where it's difficult.
Gotcha. What are some other things that come to mind?
So with that, it's kind of working out how can I make my content relatable rather than just talking about myself. What you do very well is you phrase it with a question or a focus within your content, and I find that quite difficult, or I go off tangent, or when I try summing it up with my title. I think Cody's good at this. He just picks one little thing out of his 10-minute vlog or whatever and sums it up. And I'm like, how have you done that when all this stuff's happening?
Yeah. Well, there's different. Yeah. So one thing is like different personality types are good at summing things up or connecting dots in different ways. I think Cody has a specific, it's emotional, but also very logical, and, it's random, but then also, so I think that plays to his strengths.
I mean, the other thing I had on it here is, am I being my own person, or am I copying other people? There's a few little things where I might watch YouTube and then a bit of that feeds into my content subconsciously. And then,
I think that's actually a good thing. I think you should keep doing that. Keep borrowing from other people.
I mean, I can't do anything other than be myself. That's
exactly.
I can't act as someone else, but
exactly.
You do borrow little things of inspiration sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's good. It's more learning a new way to present yourself, frame yourself, right? Going, oh wait, the introverted side of me is actually pretty cool. Let me show that. Or, oh, I am a lot more random. What if I found a way to add that in?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot on YouTube how I'm quite reflective a lot of the time, and I don't get to show my other sides, whereas TikTok is very much in the very quick fire humor and stuff, because it's that kind of nature. But
yeah,
you don't really get to see that a lot on YouTube.
Yeah. And even talking to you right now, I would say that you have a different energy than in some of your videos, which is really cool. And it'll be fun to unpack that.
I think it's just the nature of the camera where I don't have the feedback from someone else.
Yeah. No, that's normal. Do you feel like the main thing is like, what do I have to offer? How can I make my mission more, or myself more compelling to other people?
I think it's how to package it in a way that feels natural to me, and something that I can run with and create content for without it feeling like I'm just doing it for that reason. I think just finding a way to package it so people can understand the story rather than going, right, it's always random ideas, but we only just jumped into this video and we don't know the backstory.
Sure. Yeah. I noticed that was a big thing when I was watching your videos. I was saying, I have some insight into you and your personality and stuff, but in your videos you don't present it clearly or quickly as could, I feel. So you're actually making videos for other people, or what do you mean by videography?
It's more, when I started YouTube, I thought it would literally just be me filming art and that'd be it.
Oh, so you're saying like making videos is turning into a new art form that you're having fun exploring and playing around with.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the cycling videos came from, and just walking around finding interesting things, because I've always been into photography, still photos. I think the ADHD is in there because that's been quite a prominent thing, because the last 3 years it's kind of changed my life trajectory in a way. Finding out that's why I've been struggling with jobs and various, why life's been the way it's been.
Yeah, I noticed in your writing you mentioned stuff about health and fitness, and even in your videos I was like, dude, do you work out? Like, you look pretty buff. But so how much does the sort of health and fitness fit like what you sort of like doing or thinking about?
In terms of me, it's very prominent in my life. The main constant in my life is the fitness and the art. Everything else is kind of just a bit of a chaos, really, but that's my routine. That's my things I keep coming back to.
And you said in your thing that you've been doing art since like 4, right? Or like a really young age, right?
Yeah, well, I can't remember the exact age, but yeah, since I could hold a paintbrush pretty much. And
that's so awesome.
Take stamps and kind of continued into college and then university and then where I am now.
So what would you say is like a unique perspective that you have because of the style of art that you like doing? What has the art added to your life?
Yeah, so it's the way I explore the world. It's how I connect to it. So sometimes I see like images in my head or like a funny observation, or I'm connecting to that person in a emotional way. Or, I mean, a lot of my references, I'm not really painting that person, I'm painting myself in a way. I'm painting the emotion onto that kind of image. And so the reference photo is nothing really like the reference photo. That's why when in the recent painting of 1000's family, I had to really do a different style in order to get the likeness right. And it wasn't stressful, but it's definitely a challenge.
So it's like this emotional impression that you like capturing.
Yeah, it's more of an impression than it is the actual likeness, because I think you can just take a photo if you want to realism, in my opinion. But I do value that as a skill, but it's not what interests me in art.
I've noticed you like are very comfortable with sketching and sort of throwing random ideas onto the page. And I don't have a good perspective on, is that how all artists are? Or is it like you are particularly more comfortable just, splashing stuff all over the place?
I don't know, because there are artists that do enjoy that, but there's also many who struggle.
Do you have a specific goal in mind when you start?
Sometimes I have a rough image in my head and then it kind of goes completely off base. Then I kind of respond to the paint as it's happening.
Do you feel like that's how other artists, like, do you think that that's a universal art thing where everyone just sort of feels it out? And
I think what's different about me is unless I'm doing like a commission or trying to get a real likeness in a portrait, I tend to just map out a rough shape and then just build from there. So it ends up just being like a really crude circle, and then I sort of just flesh that shape out. It's almost like sculpture in a way. I'm sort of adding bits on, taking bits off.
Yeah, that's sort of the sense that I got when I was watching you work.
Thought about doing like this splatter painting where you just create a splat and then create like a little character out of that.
Exactly, yeah. Do you think that would be compelling to you or not really?
But that's the other thing. If someone's done it before, I was like, someone's done that, I don't need to do that.
So you like doing things that are more on the original side?
Or at least, I don't think anyone can be original.
Or like that feels original to you?
Exactly. No, if someone's done it before and it would be obvious that I'm doing the same, then I wouldn't want to do it.
Okay. Well, do you ever have that problem with yourself where you have made, you create something really interesting or that feels right to you, put it onto the page, and then you do another one in that similar style, and then you do another one in that similar style? Do you ever feel like you're actively going away from that style because, like, oh, I've already done that before? Or do you actually like that honing of your own particular, you want it to feel almost authentic to you? It's not really about being original. It's more about it feeling authentic to you.
Yeah, more authentic to me, because the style doesn't really change, because I try and make sure I stick to acrylic most of the time, because then the style stays similar. But what I found interesting is when I started going onto the iPad, the style was still stayed the same, which was interesting. I do struggle when I'm following themes though, because I do a lot of space people and I do a lot of wolves and things. And occasionally I get a bit bored of that, and then I go away from it for a bit and return. But it's good to have something that people can kind of get to know you for, I think. So
Yeah.
And they're fun to do anyway, so it's good to come back to them after a bit of a break. Yeah, I struggle with words. That's why I think I'm struggling with YouTube sometimes. The way I paint is you kind of feel the emotion in the brushstrokes, and then to then try and sum that up in words is quite difficult. I think that's why I like playing around with the voiceovers and things and trying to get it seeming emotional and reflective, but then I don't want that being the only kind of feel that people get from my videos.
Like, as you're painting, does it tend to be more reflective, philosophical, or is it more just nonsensical?
It feels like it's philosophical, but then when you see the image, you're like, how did that happen from that thought? It just seems very random and very just
Yeah.
But what's going on in my head, I'm often just being quite calm, and sometimes relating it to the human experience and things, even though I don't know if that relates in the actual artwork itself.
Mm-hmm.
But
so the feeling is clear.
I hope so.
The other stuff is more like circling it or as a part of it, but the feelings for you feel a little bit more clear in terms of what you're trying to clarify and stuff.
Or at least the way I put down the paint, I hope is clear. In terms of the image may be, you could have quite a calm figure, but then the actual brushstrokes are quite angry, or you could have an angry figure, but then the brushstrokes are quite calm. So you can kind of play with that juxtaposition in a way.
Yeah, totally. Cool.
I'm still questioning whether I actually am in EFP now after that test when told me something different.
Is it easy for you to be in the moment or not really?
I mean, that's why I enjoy sport and fitness so much, because it's the one time where I can really be in the moment. So I think with the tangents though, it helps me with my ideas, because I can think up one idea and that reminds me of something else. It helps the idea start to form into something.
Yeah.
Occasionally I have to find a linear sort of path for it, but that's the challenge really.
Gotcha. Cool. So this is stirring some ideas in my head. Which of these words do you really feel passionate about? They're such core parts of who you are and what you want to express to other people. So can you talk more about the ambition side of you? Because the authenticity part of you is super clear in every video without even trying. Ambitions and hopes, I've noticed it pop up in your writing, but can you talk about it a little bit more?
It's not just about making a living from it, it's building a whole community.
The meaning, right, is, so let's say people started paying you for your art. Would that suddenly make them meaningful?
I think it's more, so being paid is one thing, and that allows me to keep going, but it's more giving people, figuring out what that connection is to my art and why they bought my art, and if that's bringing them, eventually I would like to go beyond the canvas on the wall. Kind of why the Upfest Festival interests me, because it's
you also want to explore like art experiences almost.
Yeah, because I have this idea in mind where I would like to put on an art show, but have it being really interactive, and I don't quite know what that looks like yet. But there was this really cool restaurant actually in the Philippines called Van Gogh is Bipolar, but it was giving money to mental health charities, and you just walked in. There's all these random artifacts around. The whole experience was always like you're playing with your food and you forget to eat. It's like Alice in Wonderland basically, and you walk through a wardrobe to get into the restaurant and put your shoes in the fridge, and it's just very random.
That's awesome.
Whole experience of that really.
I've seen a lot of that stuff start popping up more and more. Like it's turning into more of a thing where art is becoming more than just a museum where you just sort of walk around. They're more interactive. Like what pieces are the ones that normally grab your attention, or even that you make that you feel like are like, whoa, this is really cool?
I normally like the ones where I can feel the energy in the brushstrokes. So again, really abstract, really loose, or just really great with their color and their thickness of paint. So it's more the texture and the qualities of the paint than it is about the actual subject sometimes. Although the subject will jump out, then that's good too. But then I find it more difficult to do that in my own art because I always want it to be somewhat representational, which is always that kind of fight as an artist, allow the looseness, but not to, trying to be halfway house, as it were.
Have you found other YouTubers on YouTube that do art that's a little bit more abstract, impressionist?
Yeah, probably just the one, and that is Trippy Draws, who does a lot of psychedelic doodle art. I've tried doing doodle art, and it's not easy. I mean, what's great about her is her whole aesthetic is the same. It's to the camera, and her whole kind of color scheme, and then her art is all kind of ties in, and then her snowboard vlogs is also kind of the same. I do wonder sometimes if people look at my art and they look at me, whether the two match up sometimes.
Yeah.
It's kind of that inner world rather than necessarily how I present to the world on the outside.
Yeah, so that excites you about her stuff, is that she has sort of found a way to capture her personality in her art.
Even the way she films her YouTube is very, very quick. Well, her older videos are very quick fired with the editing and things. So it kind of felt like the quickness of the immediacy of her artwork was within the editing as well. Yeah, I think you get a sense of someone when they're there with you as well. What's interesting about online is you meet them online like this, and then when you meet them in person, you go, okay, I got a sense of you already because of that. So
I've noticed, like, when I meet people in person, sometimes they think that I'm angry at them because I'm not like as animated as I am on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think the way I edit is I can make myself seem much more well-spoken or whatever. I take out all the pauses and all the keep a few ums in if I think it's natural and it seems like it's like a hangout. Have more thinking time in person, I think, whereas on YouTube you don't see that.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's other ways that you value expressing yourself?
I mean, very much in the physical, because it's not just necessarily fitness, but I've tried. I've done like circus courses in the past, and I've done like just for fun, I wasn't as good as the others, so there's people who could do backflips and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I was just enjoying like the juggling and the climbing ropes and things. So, I was 18 when I did that, so yeah, a little while ago now. But yeah, I've always been into various activities. I started climbing when I was 8 years old, had a bit of a break with the health, and then got back into it when I was 20, I think. Then had a big fall from that, so I then went on to do karate. But then when I dislocated my shoulder twice, I moved on to the CrossFit. So yeah, I've always been doing something active, and I've always felt a lot of my identity comes from the physical. So when I was looking for something to do after the karate, when I had that injury, for 2 years I didn't really know what to do, didn't know I knew who I was, but I didn't feel quite like myself.
Going back to the mission stuff, right? Like, what are some values that you would be really meaningful to you to instill in other people besides the let's not judge people, right? Let's be authentic. Yep. What are some other things that come to mind?
I mean, the obvious is around people who are starting out in art. I do want people to feel good about their art. I think it's also the curse of social media as well, because when you start comparing yourself with other people, you can start to be, worrying about your art and whether it matches up to other people. But I guess what I would like to give back is give people confidence in that. And I guess really it's following me on my journey as I try and figure that out as well. I don't know if that helps people.
What are some other things that, like, I was starting out, right? When I do it, it looks nothing like what what would be sort of your response to that?
Yeah, I mean that's something people, a lot of people struggle with, and I certainly do. So I actually, I had 4 years of a break after university. So graduated in 2012 and went back to art in like 2016 roughly. And yeah, my first few drawings were pretty horrible, and it took a while to get back into the flow of things again. So really what I'd want to tell people is that through repetition, through doing it, it improves. But I think what people get stuck on is they try and do art from their imagination all the time, drawing from life, so still life or life drawing, or just things around you in your room or whatever, office chair or whatever.
And in terms of finished art, because when I see some of your doodles, I'm like, whoa, that's pretty great. Like, that's really good. The in terms of the finished stuff, are you talking about the more like the paintings that are behind you?
More when they've got like texture and layers and things. They're still very stylized.
Do you tend to be a perfectionist? Do you tend to spend weeks and weeks on one painting? Like,
no, I'm actually pretty quick at the painting, so there's a lot of thinking time. So there's times where I'm just staring at a half-finished canvas, but then when it clicks and I figured it out, it's the actual painting itself is very quick. So there is that sort of conceptual time. So it's not super quick in terms of the actual process. And once I get started, it's the actual painting is quick. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. For part 2, click somewhere down here, and I look forward to seeing you over there.